It's all about me.
This is the Dan Patrick Show podcast.
There is more where that came from.
Click back for new episodes all week long.
Napa know-how.
Your broken AC may not be broken. It may just need a recharge with the Avalanche AC Recharge Kit. Just $39.99 plus an additional $15 prepaid Visa card by mail. Just pull the trigger and brrr. The Avalanche AC Recharge Kit. Now $39.99 plus $15 prepaid Visa card. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 6/30/18.
Broadcasting from the Mercedes Man Cave, this is the Dan Patrick Show.
Final hour on this Tuesday here in New York City. Had a lot of fun with Chris Webber and Reggie Miller. A lot of stories there. That's where you just throw out the toys and let them play, and hopefully you just kind of reset and move in another topic and let them play again. Put those two together. It was a lot of fun. Frank Isola from the New York Daily News, NBA writer, will stop by, get his thoughts on, well, all things NBA. Frankie Ice will join us coming up. You know, here's another thing that was brought up with Reggie Miller and Chris Webber. And I said, all right, I want one of you guys to be Magic Johnson, and I want one of you guys to be Kobe Altman. So he's the Cavs GM, and Reggie was going to, so that was C. Webb, and Reggie was going to play Magic Johnson. I said, I want you to make your pitch to LeBron James. And here's Reggie saying, hey, I'm going to have all of the trophies we've won, all of the titles. I'm going to have Magic in there and Kareem in there, James Worthy in there, and I'm going to have Kobe in there. And Chris Webber went nuts going, yes, I want you to have Kobe in there. I want you to have Kobe in that pitch meeting with LeBron because that'll work against you. So then Reg made his pitch that, you know, come in, join the greats. Reg said, I'm going to raise your jersey I'm retiring your jersey before you play a game with the Lakers. You know, but then, you know, Kobe will go, well, I got 2 jerseys retired. So C. Webb's point was, if you're the Cavaliers, do you make this to be LeBron versus Kobe? And why would you want to go in to that scenario, that situation? And I thought C. Webb did a very good job, a compelling job of saying to LeBron, you know, no matter what you do, yeah, but Kobe's got 5 rings. Oh, you scored 40 points 10 games in a row? You know, the last person to do that? Kobe. So it feels like there's a little bit of a shadow there. And that C. Webb said, man, if I'm the Cavs, I want Kobe in there because that'll work against you. Sports Illustrated, did you see this, McLovin? Sports Illustrated had the apparent leaked pitch from the Lakers to Paul George?
Yes, I did. Robin Lundberg got a hold of it.
Okay. So Paul George grew up in Palmdale, California, dreamed of playing for the Lakers. The Lakers have dreamed of bringing him in to the point where they got busted for tampering last summer. Now it's a full court press here by Los Angeles to bring in Paul George in free agency. Here is the leaked pitch, which will reportedly be a voiceover set to video in which the person tasked with being the voice of the script was told it should be less Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington, and more Jamie Foxx. Okay, so younger and hipper, then just bring in Jamie Foxx. Like just have Jamie Foxx in the pitch room. That's all. I should find out if Jamie Foxx is a Laker fan, but, you know, if he's a Cab fan, you know, all of a sudden he'd be given a different pitch. But, yeah, why not just hire Jamie Foxx to do this? But not have a voiceover. Just have Jamie Foxx be there when you pitch the Lakers to Paul George. Yeah, see.
It reminded me a lot of that scene in Entourage where he's shopping for a new agent and every agency makes the exact same pitch where they're like,
Coca-Cola,
Apple, McDonald's,
yeah.
You.
All right. It's entitled 2 Dreams. When you were just a kid in your room, dreaming from Palmdale, we were dreaming too. While you dreamt, we built for your arrival. And while we dreamt, you built too. Becoming one of the world's greatest. Life's most powerful dream are the one we realize ourselves. Isn't that grammatically incorrect, McLovin?
Sure is.
Okay.
What if that was the reason LeBron didn't come because of their grammar
Life's
issues?
most powerful dream are the one we realize ourselves. Okay. So maybe it's dreams are the one we realize ourselves. Okay. The ones that turn us into legends. That kid from Palmdale always knew it. Now the world will too. Yeah, Fritzy.
Was that your Lakers pitchman voice audition? Because you may have just gotten the job just now.
I would voice it, but I think they need somebody younger and hipper to do this. And I think that's why they need a little less Dan Patrick, Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington, and a little more Jamie Foxx in there. How is Jamie Foxx going to read that all of a sudden it's going to sound hipper and cooler in the first place? And who's the scriptwriter with this? Yes, McLovin.
It's L.A. Do you think they hired like a fancy screenwriter?
Yeah,
somebody who did like, I don't know who the big screenwriters are.
Are they going to have a showrunner here? Well, they got all those Hollywood guys, people that sit courtside. Maybe, let's see, who could I get?
A little J.J. Abrams production, maybe, for the Lakers?
Yeah, could do that.
Oh.
Vince Gilligan, Breaking Bad?
Ooh, it's a little dark.
No, but you called Breaking Good.
And didn't,
or you called Breaking Ankles. Yeah, see what I did? Then Bryan Cranston comes in, you get Walter White, and then the pitch. Here we go.
We're all selling meth. Oh, wait, no.
That's on the house, by the way. I'm going to give that to the Lakers free of charge there. But I would do that. The ones that turn us into legends. That kid from Palmdale always knew it. Now the world will too. In theaters Friday.
This feels so weird. This is how it works? They do this?
In a world where LeBron is considering the Lakers, you can too. Yes, Seton.
This reminds me a lot of
my pitch to get you guys to join me.
Hello, how did you get the Danettes to join the show?
It was called 4 Dreams. Not 2 dreams, but 4 dreams. When you guys were basically nobody at ESPN, when you're in your room dreaming from Bristol, Connecticut, I was dreaming too of somebody better than you guys.
But they all said no.
Oh, life's most powerful dreams are the ones we realize ourselves. And when I couldn't realize that, I decided I'll settle for this.
While you were dreaming, I was building an attic.
Come join me. Come join this palace.
This can be all yours. The spare bedroom.
The 3rd floor attic in my house. Come in. Be a part of the dream.
Bacon wafting from the kitchen downstairs.
Someone didn't do their homework again.
Yes. Mom is yelling at one of the kids.
Dan's son's jacking up Paul's computer with Halo.
Yeah. Dog just had another accident. Yes, this can be all yours. Leave ESPN, leave the mothership, and join me. Join me, and this, too, can be all yours. The fact that you guys joined me when I consider what I was offering, oh, man. I must have been a good salesman, or you guys, I must have got you at a weak moment. Because I said, yeah, we're going to do the show out of my attic. Yeah, I'm going to take 2 bedrooms, spare bedrooms, and we're just going to make a radio studio up there. Yeah, see.
All you need is a couple of people to believe in you, Dan.
I only needed one.
And you had a couple. At that moment in time, you had a couple.
I had Paulie, which helped. And then, Fritzy was the holdout. And McLovin, I think, was looking to do...
You still really have never asked me to be on the show. I'm just here. There was no pitch.
Okay, all right. Here's the official offer. I'd like for you to be a full-time member of the Dan Patrick Show.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, like a full-time. So this is not one of those, when we look back on the Beatles, it'd be just the original 4. You're involved in it, too. Okay. You're an original. Okay?
Can we talk about the benefits package? What do you got for me? Health insurance?
I'm not that far down the road with health and benefits. But you're an original member now.
Do you match 401ks?
Whoa. Just because we're still having my 10-year anniversary party, right?
We are going to have your 10-year anniversary.
9 months after the big one.
Yeah, we had our 10-year. We wouldn't let McLovin celebrate with us because we said he's not.
Did you have like Jerry West bring you a cake? What is it going to be like?
Yes.
Like the guys in the back going to bring out 3 cupcakes? Is that mine?
Roseanne's going to bring out a cupcake for you. I think that's about all we can get right now. Update the poll results there, McLeod.
Okay, so would Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and James Harden be today's current dynasty? Now it's 52% say yes, so it's like 50-50. A lot of people don't think they'd be that great, including me.
I'd be curious how you share the ball there, but the fact that C. Webb was saying that if you had Harden, that would actually help Westbrook and Durant. Because Harden passed more back then.
It is. He said that Russell would be better with Harden there. So, implying that Russell's formula right now, he dribbles too much.
Oh, yeah. Russell, Harden's got to be up there with number of dribbles per possession.
I looked at time per possession in the NBA. Westbrook's number 1, James Harden number 2, 9.2 and 8.8 out of 24.
We got some tweets here. Let's see. Yes, it's Neil. Can you guys tell the story of how Theodore and Aloysius came to be? I don't know if it was Reggie who came up with Theodore, Daniel Theodore, and then I came up with Aloysius. I don't even know how that happened, but I just remember the formal introduction was Reggie Aloysius Jr. III. His middle name is Wayne, by the way. Reggie Wayne Miller Jr. III. Yeah, Paulie.
I remember in the discussion when you guys started doing that, Patrick Ewing's name come up because Patrick Ewing's middle name is Aloysius. It's Patrick Aloysius Ewing Sr. And somehow you and Reggie started joking about that. And then Aloysius came around.
Somebody also tweeted, I was slightly disappointed to Google Reggie Miller to find out his real middle name is just Wayne. Sorry about that. Let's see. This Chief Papa Squat. Personally, I think if they had kept Harden a year longer, they may have realized he complimented Durant better than Westbrook. Could Harden and Durant have played well together in Oklahoma City? Could you have kept those two together? Yeah, Paulie.
Wait, Harden and Westbrook together?
No, Harden and Durant.
Oh.
Would they have played nice? Would Durant have been? But if Durant, if they beat Golden State, it doesn't feel like Durant goes to Golden State. But do you stay in Oklahoma City? And Reggie and Chris Webber said they thought he would go somewhere else. So he really wanted to get away from Russell Westbrook. But the fact that Harden, and even though I didn't remember that Harden was comfortable with being sort of that third guy. And then he got to Houston because people wondered if he wanted to be the guy, the man. And even Kevin McHale, his former coach, talked about that. But I think it's gone nicely. By the way, here is James Harden after winning the MVP last night.
6th man of the year to the MVP. Shout out to all the youngest, man. I got a dream. It's a vision out there. Go take it. Go chase that dream. Right. I'll see y'all next year. Swag.
He's a cool cat, man. He is. There's a great vibe to. Whoa! Look at Frank. Frank Isola came in. Is he sporting soccer kit there? Has he got a soccer kit on? What's he got there, Paul?
I figured we were going to play.
Oh,
Brazil.
Oh, Brazil.
I left the Italy one at home.
Brazil. All right. No Italy.
There's enough space in here. We could play.
No Italy this year. All right. So Frank will join us coming up, and he's going to tell you. Instead of going on around the horn to tell you where LeBron's going to go, he is going to save that information for this show. That's the kind of player that Frank is. So we'll be back, talk some basketball with him right after this in the Dan Patrick Show.
So everyone knows I put on a lot of miles on my old car driving back and forth to the Dan Patrick Show. Guess what? It's time to buy a new car, and I am so glad that we work with TrueCar because they are helping out so much. If you're looking to buy a car, you're probably familiar. Terms like MSRP, I wasn't. You might even know what that stands for. I didn't. But same goes for invoice, list price, and dealer price. It's enough to confuse even experienced car buyers. All you're really looking for is a price that actually means something. Introducing True Price from TrueCar. Now you can know exactly what you'll pay for the car you want, including fees and accessories, before you even get to the dealership. TrueCar dealers will show you the true price on cars like the one you want, all from the comfort of home. And how do you know if your true price is a great price? Because TrueCar shows you what other people paid for the same car you want. And your certified dealers know this so they can set the true price competitively so they can win your business. So when you're ready to buy a new or a used car, visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Some features not available in all states.
Support for the Dan Patrick Show comes from our friends at Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. They understand that home plays a big role in your life and family, and that's why they created Rocket Mortgage. Rocket Mortgage gives you the confidence you need when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your existing home loan. It's simple, allowing you to fully understand all the details and be confident you're getting the right mortgage for you. Whether you're looking to buy your first home or your 10th, with Rocket Mortgage, you get a transparent online process that gives you the confidence to make an informed decision. It's convenient. Our trusted partners allow you to share your financial information with Rocket Mortgage at the touch of a button. And in addition to getting a real mortgage approval in minutes, you can even adjust the rate and length of your loan in real time to make sure you're getting the right solution for you. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Apply simply, understand fully. Mortgage confidently. To get started, go to rocketmortgage.com/Dan, equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states, NMLS, consumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Frank Isola from the New York Daily News, Sirius XM NBA Radio, and one of the stars of Around the Horn, kind enough to join us here. That's a big business card you got there. Look at you.
I just had a son graduate college. A daughter's in college. I need all the jobs I can get.
Best job that you have. If I said you could only do one of these, Around the Horn, New York Daily News.
Well, I'm going to say Around the Horn because it pays the most.
Oh, it does? Now, do you get paid per appearance on Around the Horn?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you get paid any extra if you win?
No, unfortunately not.
But
that's what everybody
asks.
I'm like the lefty reliever who pitches the 6th and 7th inning. I just want the appearances. It's not based on the wins. You could win your 20 games. Let me just have the most appearances on the year.
Now, Kalishaw got in trouble because he said he tanked a show to get out early one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would tank because I didn't have anything good to say at the end of the show when you have your FaceTime.
Oh, okay.
But there have been times when I really wanted to win and I thought I've had a good FaceTime. And then Tony, if you look, I think because I'm in the studio in New York and Tony thinks that, he and I are too much alike for whatever reason, even though he's a lot younger than me, I think he picks on me the most and I lose the most because I think the other people, and when you have a bunch of newspaper people, newspaper people are the biggest babies out of everybody. We criticize the most, but when we get criticized, we're the biggest babies. So a lot of the ex-newspaper people, they're all worried about winning. So then they're always thinking there's a conspiracy. Tony likes Frank because he's in the studio. So you got that whole dynamic working.
Who would be the highest paid guy on Around the Horn if we had a salary cap there?
You mean
an open draft? All right, open draft first pick. Who's going to?
Bomani and Pablo are off it because they have their own
show.
Yeah, so
they got high noon. Okay.
Yeah, so they would have been free agents moving to another show.
So number one.
Give me some names here then.
Well, Woody Page.
Well, yeah, he's been around the longest.
Yeah, he's been around the horn.
Yeah, we should put him on the veteran minimum though, right? At this stage. Because usually guys on the veteran minimum, they could still do the job, but they still, they're not as, well, I don't want to say this word. He's been around longer, so we know that he wants to stay, so we could probably, he's like Carmelo Anthony.
Well,
we can get him on the veteran minimum.
You should have like an assisted living Around the Horn, I think. I think then that's what we need to do with Woody.
Well, Tony's got all the energy. He's the one that keeps everybody up. Tony would make the most as the host, I would think.
All right. But as far as
who's on there a lot?
Mina Kimes is,
what?
Kind of emerging. Jackie McMullen is, veteran, reliable.
I would say Mina Kimes right now.
Yeah.
She would be the free agent that everyone would want, and she would get the max deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's smart. She's young. She's got the whole package working. Went to Yale, so she's had a tough life, as you can tell.
Does she remind you that she went to Yale?
No, she's not like that at all.
Oh, because McLovin went to Dartmouth, and he loves to remind you that he went to Dartmouth.
That's not true. Really?
You couldn't get into Northwestern. That's where my son went. Just saying.
I definitely couldn't get into
I
Yale.
heard Dartmouth. I've never been up there. I heard it's beautiful, though.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Yeah. I went there. Right.
Yeah. Well, but Pablo will remind you all that he'll always slip in Harvard.
Yeah, of course.
Mina does not slip in the Yale comment.
Did you know Pablo knew Jeremy Lin?
He did. Think about it. They did back-to-back covers of Jeremy Lin. And then the next week was spring training, and the headline was Marlin Sanity. They milked that one 3 times. Back-to-back Jeremy Lin, 3rd time Marlin Sanity.
But if you look back on that with Jeremy Lin, the competitiveness with Carmelo and Jeremy Lin, it felt like it was tangible.
Yeah.
That all of a sudden, this is Melo's team, and Jeremy Lin became the darling.
Yeah.
How much friction and did that lead to Melo asking management to get rid of Jeremy Lin?
Well, I don't think Carmelo had much to do with them getting rid of him. I don't think the owner was too crazy about it. I think a lot of that had to do with Jeremy didn't play in the series against Miami. Remember, the whole team kind of fell apart. He had the meniscus surgery. But getting back to your point, it's the Patrick Swayze line from Dirty Dancing. Nobody puts Baby in the corner. Nobody puts Melo in the corner. And that a lot of times they were running high pick and roll, and there was Carmelo standing in the corner. He didn't want that. He didn't want that anymore. But that was an exciting time. You wonder how long it could. When they went down to Miami, if you remember, right before the All-Star game, it was almost like Carmelo's buddies, Dwayne Wade and LeBron, wanted to prove a point because they were trapping Jeremy before he can get the ball over midcourt. They wanted to prove a point that game.
Well, it's sort of like with Pippen and Jordan when they faced Tony Kukoc in the Olympics.
Exactly.
But you know what? When Melo came in here, how many years ago was that, Paulie? 3 years ago, maybe? He was delightful.
Yeah.
And
February of 11 he came in. You're talking about Carmelo?
No,
came in
the
studio.
Here. Yeah, came into the studio. He was
He's
delightful.
a great guy.
And I said, you should do more.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if people... I mean, he's not my favorite player, but I did like him as a person. What is his legacy going to be?
Great scorer. Absolutely. Won a lot of gold medals. I think the fact that he's only gotten out of the first round twice will hurt him. And I think one of the things that you just mentioned, Carmelo is a great guy. He was one of the best guys to deal with. Never got angry at something you had written. Would talk to anybody. Would never be a jerk to a reporter who would just float in for one day. Never. And in a odd kind of way, I think that almost hurt him because he was too nice. And he didn't kind of bring that anger and intensity out onto the court. He loved being in the NBA. He loved playing. Let's hang out. We'll all be buddies. Me, you, LeBron, Dwayne Wade. And I kind of think that hurt him. He was great and he wanted to get better, but I don't think he had that drive the way Kobe has that drive. LeBron has it. I think that's kind of what separates, same thing with Michael Jordan. It's what separates, the really, really good players from those all-time kind of players.
When's the last time you had somebody approach you, confront you with something you wrote?
It's probably been a while because I don't think it's like that anymore. I think because of Twitter and things like that. I think players they get upset about stuff like that. But now what they'll do is they'll tell someone, maybe it's a PR person or somebody in that area, and then they'll tell you that they're upset. Somebody in the organization. But Stephon Marbury once called me up, was upset about that. I had written, he and Kurt Thomas got into a fight in the locker room. And then the Knicks tried to trade him to Cleveland. So I wrote that they tried to settle the feud in the locker room by trading Kurt Thomas. He called me up the next day. I didn't even know that he had my phone number and just started yelling at me. He told me I better watch my back and all this other nonsense. So when I told Kurt Thomas, he thought it was pretty funny.
Did Phil Jackson have an issue with you? Anything you wrote?
Yeah, he was really upset. He had told me at one point, he reached out to me right after his introductory press conference, and he said, hey, at some point we'll sit down. So I let it go. I said, yeah, no problem. And then maybe a year later, I'd sent him an email, and he said, we can do that once your tweets and your stories improve.
Oh, boy.
And I said, actually, I say this to everybody, it's the results that affect the coverage. It's not the other way around. The coverage does not impact the results. We're only writing about what's happened. What's happened with the New York Knicks the last 17 years? They have the worst record in the NBA. How do you want to cover that? And the same thing happens this year. The fans have already started in, this has been great, this hiring's been great, this draft pick. Every year the Knicks fans think that they've won the summer, which is fine to think that way. But we can only base it on history. What does history tell us?
They're pretty loyal, patient fan base, right?
I think almost too loyal.
Yeah.
I think in New York, I think the Mets have the best fans because the Met fans has a standard where they say, if you put a good product on the field, we'll go to the games. The Knicks still sell out every game.
I know.
So in that way, yeah, they have loyal fans, but there's a lot of tourists around, things like that, who go to the games. The Met fan and the Jet fan is, if you don't give us a good product, we're not showing up.
Frank Isola from the New York Daily News. He'd gladly give up that job and Sirius XM NBA radio and keep around the horn joining us here. Are the Knicks in play for LeBron at all?
I don't know. Would you be shocked at anything LeBron did at this point?
I would be shocked if the Knicks would be in play.
What about because of David Fizdale, though? That's his guy.
Well, I can love you as a coach. It doesn't mean I have to play. I can have a good relationship. You got to look at ownership. I got to look, is Porzingis going to be healthy?
Yep, exactly.
Is Knox a player? I mean, I don't know what you have on that team. Now, I did think Hornacek did a pretty good job with that team. I thought that they passed the ball. They played hard. Yeah. It wasn't a good team.
I think if he signs a 1-year contract, or I should say opts in Cleveland, then he's a free agent next year, then the Knicks would have a chance. Because now you think Porzingis, you'll probably get another lottery pick. Now you can, and they have money next summer. I think right now the Lakers are the team. Even though everything's being floated out, Cleveland, he's going to stay in Cleveland. I think the Lakers are worried about the whole tampering thing. They got in trouble for it last year. There were stories out that the Lakers told their, employees be very careful.
Do you think it's already a done deal?
He must know already what he's going to do. I think it's either Cleveland or the Lakers. I don't know which one, but his wife, they have the last 2 years. They've looked at schools out there, so that has to be the Lakers or Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I've been saying all along. I think it's Cleveland. I think he stays one more year just to see sort of how LA plays out. If you mention the Knicks, is there another? How's Philly play out too?
Yeah. Don't you hope he stays in Cleveland?
Yeah,
he's from there.
Yeah.
And at this point, okay, what's his record in the finals? 3-6. 3-6, right? 9 times. 3-6.
Yeah.
All right, so Michael Jordan was 6-0 in the finals, but those years that he didn't make it to the finals, those count also.
Yeah.
Like he's getting to the finals every year.
That was my argument. Yeah, but then people say, well, it's a watered down East that he's going through to get there. Jordan, the teams he faced.
He's got a watered down team that he's taking.
Yeah, but he helped water down that team too.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
But do you get? I refuse to get into the argument about LeBron and Michael because until it's done, I just don't know if you can. I don't think it's fair to either one of them because they're different. Their styles are different. LeBron doesn't play like Michael. No. He's a different teammate. I mean, people don't talk about LeBron's actually a good teammate.
Yeah.
Michael wasn't a great teammate.
No.
You had to keep up with him, and he would take you to the promised land.
Also, the difference was Michael Jordan wanted every North Carolina player on the team,
yes.
right? So he wanted
Walter Davis
on the team, and this guy, that guy, and they said, no, we're going to do it. LeBron, I think, has a little bit more say. And then things happen, and then they say, no, LeBron didn't know that Kyrie was going to get traded. Do you really believe that? You really think that they're going to trade Kyrie Irving without LeBron knowing about it?
No.
Come on. And if it worked out, I think he would have said, well, you know who thought it was time to make a trade?
Also, here's the thing that we always laugh at. Everybody's got sources. But not everybody has sources, Frank. All you have to do nowadays is say, I got a source I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And we're so loose now. And journalism is not alive and well and kicking in sports.
Yeah.
How concerned are you of where we are, what it is, and what it means to the fans who are consuming this?
I thought a fascinating story was the story in The Ringer, right? The Brian Colangelo thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that story would have gotten in a newspaper because it was a lot of, conjecture and trying to connect the dots. I get it. Brian Colangelo admitted to having a burner account, which, by the way, I think every general manager has, just to kind of keep tabs on what, people around the league, also media people are saying.
Yeah.
But that did go to another level with then it got connected to his wife somehow. And my thing was, all right, so now we're going to kill, let's say it was his wife, for argument's sake, who's tweeting out to how many people followed that account? 50? She could reach more people opening the window here and yelling out, go ask Jahlil Okafor about failing his physical. Yet, we've already read a story from the Sixers since Brian Colangelo's been fired that people in the organization did not want them to draft Markelle Fultz. How is that story not more damaging than that tweet about Jahlil Okafor? Markelle Fultz is still on the team. So don't you feel bad for Markelle Fultz? How does he feel? Well, there are people in here that don't want me. And clearly the Sixers aren't that concerned with leaks because that got out.
Well, somebody had to tip off somebody at the Ringer that there were these burner accounts. Yeah. Because if we didn't even know that they existed, and how many followers did she have?
Yeah.
So we still don't know who tipped off the Ringer, to bring this story to light.
And don't you think this year there's been a lot of stuff floated out there about Kawhi Leonard, a lot of it being sourced. How come the Spurs aren't being investigated about the Kawhi Leonard stuff? The big thing was they leaked out information about Jahlil Okafor failing a physical. You can fail a physical for anything. Cuttino Mobley had a potentially fatal heart condition when he got traded to the Knicks, but he had always signed a waiver. So you can fail him on the physical, blow up the trade, but they passed the physical. So Jahlil Okafor failing a physical is not breaking any HIPAA laws or anything like that. It seemed like that story got a little out of control. But back to your point about sourcing, that was somebody who leaked it to them, obviously gave them pretty good information because Brian Colangelo certainly did have that account.
But all you have to do is say, I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Source is close to me. And nobody can follow up. It's not like if you don't tell me your source and you're writing for the New York Times, we're going to put you in prison.
Yeah.
I'm a hearing.
Yeah.
And that just feels it's a little lazy.
But I would say this too. Let's say in the case of LeBron, that Rich Paul, his agent, talks to people. He knows. And there's enough people around LeBron that tell enough people who, they want to be friendly with certain reporters, so they're going to tell them stuff. So I'd still think a lot of stuff that gets sourced is pretty reliable. The players are always going to deny it. That's the way that they do it.
Would LeVar Ball have you pause if you're LeBron James? That
Absolutely.
If you're going into the Lakers.
Absolutely.
Do you think Lonzo Ball is on the team if LeBron goes?
I don't think so. I think they're going to try to get rid of him. Even though, first of all, he played in 52 games, right? He shoots, 30% from the field and on threes. It might even be
He's under 50 from the line.
I know.
Right?
I know.
I think he's like 46.
And the whole situation with the dad, and at first it was funny. We had him on our show. You laughed. But then as things went on, they told him, please, just tone it down a little bit. Then he came out and killed Luke Walton. Then he's pulling his kids out of school. They're playing over in Lithuania. Then he says our kids are going to play together. And I get it. Everyone wanted to give him Father of the Year because he cares about his kids. That's how usually every father is. I think we use better judgment. Do you think it's good judgment that he pulled this kid out of UCLA and now the kid didn't get drafted? Where would you rather be as an 18, 19-year-old? Playing in Lithuania, making, I don't even know what he was making, or hanging on the UCLA campus, playing basketball?
Well, we don't know how long he would have had to sit out at UCLA. But I think that he needed a year of structured basketball because high school, if you saw him play in high school, he would be at the other end of the floor. He wasn't even playing defense. And he's shooting as many times as he wanted. And then you go to Lithuania, there's no structure there as well. And I think, he's the third best player in the family.
Yeah.
He needed structure.
And that was the word coming out of high school, that he's not really the NBA guy. So wouldn't multiple years of college basketball help him?
He needed
I don't know. I think as an 18-year-old, it's a pretty fun time to live your life, be in college at a place like UCLA, playing in the Pac-10. Your brother's playing right down the road at Staples Center. You're in a pretty good situation. I think he went kicking and screaming to Lithuania. Nothing against Lithuania. I don't want to go there as an 18-year-old when I could be at UCLA.
But then you have LiAngelo, who's now not going to be able to go to college.
Yeah. LaMelo. The young one's LaMelo.
LaMelo. Yeah. So now he's another one that could use structure. I watched him play. I watched high school games that they played, not clips. I watched high school games. They need structure.
I know.
Because their game is really undisciplined. Even now, it's like AAU basketball. You get into bad habits there. And that's part of the problem with these younger kids going into the NBA. They don't have structure.
And don't you think the father put a target on the kid? Because he did so much talking. He's going to be Rookie of the Year. He's going to lead them to the championship, this and that. And where he really lost me was all the bravado. My son's going to come out. He's going to be the number one pick. That's great. The minute they lost in the NCAA tournament, he started blaming his teammates.
Oh, I know.
The father, you don't do that. Why are you blaming like somebody else's, 18, 19?
But do you think
kid?
this is a sign and trade with Cleveland to the Lakers with LeBron?
He might do something like that
because
nobody wants to help them out. He doesn't have to help them out.
No, but everybody wants money.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think LeBron's going to go.
But the Lakers could sign him outright, though. Or he can opt into his contract and do what Chris Paul did last year with the Clippers in Houston. You opt in, you're getting your $30 million, then you're getting traded. So technically a sign and trade.
Yes.
Yeah.
What would you have to give up to get LeBron?
You want to
if you're the Lakers.
Young players and picks.
But they don't have picks.
I know.
So you're going to get Lonzo and
Brandon Ingram.
Would you do that?
I wouldn't do Lonzo Ball. I'll do Brandon Ingram.
Well, Cleveland's got Colin Sexton, too.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's another thing. So if you...
Well,
you're not going to get Kuzma and Ingram for LeBron, are you?
That's where we're going to start. And then you're probably going to have to take back a bad contract to make it all fit.
Somehow Timothy Mozgov will be in the deal.
Andrew
Bynum.
Former Nick.
Oh,
Timothy
yeah.
Mozgov.
They're all... Okay, if you went back and you changed one move, draft pick, move, whatever, for the Knicks, you can change one. Which one would you change?
You know what they should have done? Donnie Walsh, Mike D'Antoni were in love with Steph Curry. They knew that. They should have done anything they could to trade up in front of the Golden State Warriors. They should have trusted their instincts on that one.
You think that's the one move?
They love Steph Curry. Mike D'Antoni.
Did they try to trade up?
Maybe they did, but come on. You could have, knowing what you know now, you should have done anything you could to get him. That's like a different level.
Are you on Around the Horn today?
Yes, I am.
So
check your local listings, Dan.
I mean, you could give a shout out.
You should guest host.
Guest host on
Would
Around
you ever
the
do
Horn.
that?
Would I guest host on Around the Horn? If Tony Reale asked, then I would consider that.
All right.
Yeah.
It's not that easy. It's not like hosting SportsCenter. That's like a dime a dozen. You have to, mute button, give points. This is real work.
I mean, it's a tough 22 minutes that you have to deal with there. I mean,
you should see the
pretty crazy there. God, 22 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is,
Man,
it's not like sitting in a palace like you have
It's
here.
exhausting to do 22 minutes of taped TV.
Well, remember one thing, and I brought it before: high maintenance newspaper people.
Oh, I know
the
that.
biggest babies out of everyone
But
in the media.
I don't know if I would give you guys any points.
You don't have to.
The score might be like 7-5.
And here's the thing about the show: they accuse me all the time of being a homer, which I'm not. But Bill Plaschke's all
He's
about
the biggest
LA.
homer.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he is.
He's Mr. Dodger, Mr. Laker. I mean, Boston people. I mean, Jackie's pretty.
Could you take
unbiased.
everybody on around the horn
in a fight,
like in the octagon?
Let me see.
Like Plaschke looks like he's a wrestler. I bet he was a wrestler in high school.
Sarah Spain was a heptathlete.
Sarah Spain is probably the best athlete on there.
Yeah.
I like Sarah Spain.
I walked on. I spent 1 year at Maryland, walk on the soccer team.
And then just kept walking?
Yeah.
Like,
They
hey,
told
Frank.
me to keep walking.
Hey, Frank. See you later.
They told me to keep walking, go away.
It was a walk past.
And when I was on the team, they weren't good. Now they're like a national power.
Yeah.
So Taylor Twellman broke all my records. You watch the Premier League on NBC?
The Premier League.
Premier League.
Yeah.
You watch
Rebecca Lowe.
Unbelievable host.
Yes, she's great.
They
Wonderful.
do a great job. I've actually been to that the old shampoo factory up there to watch them do the show. That's how much I like.
The NBC Sports.
Yes, beautiful.
It was the shampoo factory.
Yeah, that's what it used to be, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have
You
no
should
idea.
know that. You work for NBC.
All right.
You never know.
Thank you, Frank. He's Frank
Thank you.
Isola, and he says LeBron is going to the Lakers. You did.
Hopefully Cleveland.
You got sources?
Yes.
Are you hearing?
Hearing. Word on the street.
Frank on Around the Horn tonight, and if he wins, a nice shout out to the Dan Patrick
Yes.
Show, I think would be in order. That'd be
Yes.
nice, Frank.
That's
And
absolutely.
check with Reale if he wants me to host Around the Horn. I'd be
Done
more than
deal.
happy to sit
Talk
in.
to your people at NBC.
My
He'll
people?
talk to his people at ESPN. I don't have people, so
I
can't
think
get involved.
he'd have to talk to his people at ESPN. That would be the key.
That'd be a big.
It'd be a big coup. It'd be a big ratings. It'd be a bonanza.
I better not get in trouble for talking about people on Around the Horn. I won't get in trouble. Edit that out.
Okay, yeah, we will.
Except the Mina Kine stuff. I like her.
All right. We'll come back, close up shop here in New York right after this.
Here at Podcast One, we love hearing from you. We read every tweet and comment you send our way, so don't miss your chance to take our summer listener survey. Just go to PodcastOne.com and click on the survey banner, or go to PodcastOne.com/mysurvey. It only takes a few minutes, and it gives you the opportunity to make a direct impact on your favorite shows. Tell us how you really feel, so we can get to know you better. We value your thoughts and participation, so check out the survey at PodcastOne.com/mysurvey, or click on the survey banner on PodcastOne.com.
Hey, listeners, just wanted to take a minute to thank all our great sponsors and all of you great listeners for supporting this podcast. We certainly couldn't do it without either of you. And I wanted to remind you that you can support our sponsors by going to our show page at PodcastOne.com, clicking on the Support This Podcast button, and there you will see all our wonderful sponsors that help make this show possible. Thank you for downloading, subscribing, and of course, supporting. And now, back to the show.
Stay tuned for 60 seconds of AP News headlines right after this podcast.
I guess there's a new dance craze, and my kids are too old to, I think, be doing this. I'm not sure what the name of the dance is. Do you guys, what's it called, Paulie?
My daughters say they're flossing, or floss in. as the kids
Floss
say.
in. Okay. But what is it?
We call it backpacking.
Backpacking. So explain it.
Oh, I actually didn't know this. So there's a backpack kid who invented the dance on Instagram. Is that correct? Then
something like that. He had this account, and it just sort of blew up because his dances got really big. And he did a bunch of he's danced with Katy Perry and all of this stuff. So he's like a big deal, this backpack kid. And I guess this move, the floss thing, is a dance that he invented, like a dance move he made up. And literally, there is not a kid under the age of like 16 years old that isn't constantly swinging their arms and doing this dance thing now.
And then Paulie was doing it.
Yeah,
Paulie
just did it
during
like
the live
sort of
look
casually.
I know. All of a sudden he started dancing.
Well,
I'm going like, what are you doing?
It's what my kids do to kill time. They'll just sit there and they'll be talking. And they're like, yeah, Dad, are we going to the park? And they'll be like,
Okay.
That's what every kid in the world is doing.
Yeah, I haven't seen that before.
Crazy.
But your kids are all of that age. And
we're like 4 days. They were whipping and nay-naying like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like that was a big thing. The flosses that's already an old dance. There's a new one.
Floss now, yeah. The new one that Kieran just came home. And actually, if you remember, we had Von Miller in studio in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
I think it's called like the shoot and the hump or something, and that's all the rage now. That all of the kids are doing the shoot.
Can anybody
all over
do the
place.
shoot and the hump?
I can't.
Fritzy,
it's like that leg kick thing.
Fritzy
and
did it with Von Miller on the show at the Super Bowl.
Didn't Von Miller?
Yeah, I didn't know if I was doing it. I was just copying the video of when they showed him doing it at camp.
But I don't want you doing it because things can fall out of you.
They have.
Yeah, I'd prefer that didn't happen.
There are actually videos all over the internet of people trying to teach other people how to do the shoot and the hump or whatever, and it's hilarious because there are people who can't dance who have no rhythm. And have no ability to do it. Me being probably one of them, but it's pretty hilarious.
All right, tomorrow on the show, Dale Earnhardt Jr. stops by, and then the actor Michael Douglas is stopping by.
That's correct.
Yeah, Paul.
Is this correct? The great American actor Michael Douglas is going to spend time with us?
Yeah. I think he's in Ant-Man.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Okay.
Gordon Gekko's going to be here?
Yes.
Greed is good. Greed works because it's wreckable.
Remember Falling Down? Did you ever see that Michael Douglas movie? Oh, man. I looked at his bio yesterday when Fritzy said, Michael Douglas might join us, and I started looking at things. You know what's one of the most surprising things? He won an Academy Award, I think, as a producer for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He was the producer of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. One of the great movies. Yes, Paul.
He was in Coma. You ever see that back? That's a good movie. Real dark. My wife went crazy. She's like, Romancing the Stone, American President, Basic Instinct, Disclosure,
Fatal Attraction. Oh, boy.
You don't sleep on this guy's resume. Traffic?
What was the one with Demi Moore and it's set in Seattle?
Not the one where
Disclosure, where
Woody Harrelson?
Yes.
Disclosure,
Yeah.
Who's the one who offered to buy
Robert Redford.
Robert Redford.
Yeah,
sorry.
that's not him. Yeah, Fritzy.
Now, if Michael Douglas doesn't say hi to you right away, you're going to say, I'm not going to be ignored. Got to work that in some.
Glenn Close.
That was so good.
Have a rabbit boiling over there in the kitchen.
God.
So are we going to have Catherine Zeta-Jones sit on those couches during the interview? Is that how it's going to work?
I don't know if his wife is going to be here.
She's certainly welcome to join us.
I mean, yes.
Imagine if she just tagged along.
Oh,
my gosh.
That'd be great. That'd be great. She's one of the great beauties in the world. She's from Wales.
He's very, very funny in the original Ant-Man, Michael Douglas. That movie.
Now, he's a doctor.
Yes, so he sort of invented this thing. And
this thing.
It's a very Marvel-y plot, but you guys are going to want to talk. I'll nerd out with him if you guys want.
Yeah.
I could do the sci-fi stuff.
Yes, Richie.
And Michael Porter Jr. we're going to catch up with on slipping in the draft with his back, new member of the Nuggets.
Michael Porter Jr. III will join us on the program. Dale Jr. and Michael Douglas will join us as well. Is Dale Jr. the third? Is he Dale Earnhardt Jr. the third? I'm not sure.
I counted 8 juniors in the top 16 picks.
Yeah, there were a lot of them.
A lot of Jaren Jackson Jr.
I also saw this story. Bryson DeChambeau is a golfer, and he was playing in the Travelers Championship over the weekend. And apparently he was using a compass. Okay. This during his final round. They were investigating this device and seeing if it's allowable or not. He shot a 268 on Sunday. It wouldn't be the first time that this happened. He stated that he uses the compass to determine true pin locations. And he notes that they're off every so often. And he's been using the compass in tour events since 2016. Yeah, Fritzy.
I thought it was in case he got lost or something, walking around. Where's the 11th hole?
I think I just burped right there. Didn't I?
I think you did on the air.
I know, sorry. I was in the middle of a sentence, a thought. I couldn't stop there.
I heard you laugh a little bit at it. We've been with you since June of 2002. That's the first time you've done that.
I could be like Howard Stern. He burps all the time.
Yeah.
But Bryson DeChambeau, burp.
As a golfer, would you consider something like that?
No.
Yeah.
Like a rangefinder or whatever the
do you
binoculars.
use those are cool.
That's great. But I need more than a compass. That's for sure. A compass can maybe direct me to a good score for a change.
Yeah, it's definitely blowing out of the east here. I really need to know that for my shot.
4 knots, yes.
Does someone call that in from the couch? Hey, he's using the compass again. He's right there. Right there. That's how he used to. Storm music.
Is that what the golf?
That's basically what the average fan that's on the couch. Hey, drop all my potato chips fell. Where's my cheese doodles fell on the floor?
All right. What we learned brought to you by LegalZoom. If you need to make it legal, make it LegalZoom.com. We love them. Not a law firm. They have a network of independent attorneys that can answer your legal questions. Need to make it legal, make it LegalZoom.com. How does the golf viewer sound, Fritzy?
Wait, never going to get used to it. He's in the comments.
Shut it down! Hi, I'm John Taffer. You probably know me because I've rescued thousands of bars, hundreds of them on TV.
That's your future. Broken!
I'm also a best-selling author, and I've owned and operated a bunch of other businesses. But now, I'm here on Podcast One with my new show, No Excuses. I only yell at assholes. Every Tuesday, I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm giving you all things bar rescue, insider peeks of what's going on the set, current events and topics you care about, with in-your-face analysis, and you know how straight I can be. And I'm going to have unforgettable guest interviews with the world's most interesting people, and I'm going to ask them the questions that nobody else has ever asked them. And yes, sometimes I can be a bit of an ass, but I'm going to shut it down every Tuesday and make no excuses. It's going to be the #1 show here on Podcast One. Listen to it every Tuesday on PodcastOne.com, on the Podcast One app, and on Apple Podcasts. And remember, rate and review it, or I'm going to shut you down.